Hi guys, Mike here again. Hey, we've been looking at how to hear God's voice, and we've looked at several things through that, but I just want to finish up this series on hearing God's voice, on what will hinder you from hearing God's voice. Very briefly today, there's three things. Number one is unbelief. That's right, unbelief will stop you from hearing the voice of God. It says this in Hebrews 6, and without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. The Message says it like so. It says it's impossible to please God apart from faith. And why? Because anyone who wants to approach God must believe that he exists and that he cares enough to respond to those who seek him. Care is a big part of how we see God. So you must believe, Hebrews 11:6. You need faith to hear God. The devil condemns, he destroys, he tries to confuse. He hates you and he hates me being a friend with God. And when we are talking with God, when we're hearing his voice, we're friends with God. The second thing is this: disobedience. We need to obey the last thing that God spoke to us. Sadly, I meet many people who say, I want a word from God to give me direction. And I learned very early from a wise pastor who said, what's the last thing God told you to do? And the next question is, have you done it? So if God has told you to stop something, then stop it. If he's told you to repent and go to somebody to ask for forgiveness, then do it. So disobedience will stop you from hearing the voice of God. Unbelief will as well. And the third and last thing is this: busyness and distraction. God is not obligated to chase us down. During COVID, there's a high percentage of people who aren't in church, who aren't in fellowship, who aren't on Zoom calls, aren't in prayer meetings, whatever. And, they have this obligated sense that the pastor or somebody, some leader should chase me down. Well, God's not obligated to chase us down, but we are obligated to spend time with him. It's called quiet time. And when we spend quiet time with him, we tell him what we're worried about. I like Jimmy Evans. He says, if you want a prayer list, just write down all your concerns, all your worries, and bring it to God, because that's your prayer list. God's a talker. He speaks your language, and he just loves to talk. And if you don't believe me, then I just encourage you to go to him, to talk to him, to listen to him, bring him all your complaints, all your worries, and let him talk back to you, and you'll be really surprised. So I hope this has helped you heaps. So hindrances are unbelief, disobedience, and busyness and distraction. Bless you heaps. Go hear the voice of God. Bye.